Now, that horrendous fire that took place out in East London at Wennington last night, we can reveal here on GBNews exclusively, and you've not heard this story anywhere else. But the first point to make is the fire broke out within yards of the Wennington fire station. But here's the thing that no one's picked up on. There was no fire engine in Wennington station at the time the fire broke out. Why? It had been sent to Upminster to fight a previous fire. And so the first engine that arrived on the scene, almost unbelievably, came from Orpington, which, and those watching this on television can see, is nearly 20 miles away. Now, we could say this is all because of cuts, and no doubt Sadiq Khan will say this is all because of cuts. In the past, a fire station like Wennington would have had 2 fire engine devices. Now that's been cut to 1. The argument for cutting 11,000 firefighters since 2010, the argument is there are fewer house fires today than there were back in the past, and we simply don't need as many firemen, women and engines. But I think there will be a lot of soul-searching, a lot of thinking. It does seem 14 houses totally destroyed, many cars, huge amount of damage. It does seem, had Wennington had a fire engine there, maybe this could have been put out before it caused any problem. Well, Paul Scully, Member of Parliament for Cheam, Sutton and Cheam, joins me, and of course you were Minister for London until very, very recently.
Still am.
You still are? Yeah. Right. I get confused. You've got so many titles. Look, I've tried to put that in a fairly balanced way. The fact that there wasn't an engine there, it had been sent to Upminster, but in previous times there would have been 2 engines there. You know, you are going to be attacked as a government over cuts. It's going to be said that because of your cuts, much of that village has been destroyed.
So I think what you find is that the operational decisions for the fire service are taken by the fire service, and then you've got the Mayor of London that's in charge. And there's no doubt, you rightly say, there are fewer house fires, deaths by things like water and other areas, and road traffic accidents are more prevalent in this day and age. And so the fire service adapts accordingly. But what you found yesterday is that the fire service on the whole responded incredibly well, with it being the busiest time for the fire service since the Blitz. They had 5 times the normal amount of calls. So, you know, clearly they were always going to be stretched to the absolute limits in this situation.
Pretty gutsy for the residents of that village of Wennington when they have their own fire station, and it was at Upminster.
You know, and this could have happened in other areas, because it's difficult to go through ifs and buts through this particular kind of scenario, because it's a record temperature for a reason. It's never happened before in London, or indeed the UK, to reach those heights. So you saw the fires. It wasn't just in London, it was in Norfolk and other parts of the country as well. And they were receiving, in places in Norfolk, they were actually getting support from elsewhere in the country, way beyond Norfolk, because of the stretch in resources. But we've tried to do the best we can, and I think we responded pretty well.